Okay, so current limitations on the market. Now, as aforementioned, users aren't able to witness the actual synthesizing process. Okay, this was said already. Culprits of these are UberDoc and Resemble AI. Now, Resemble AI is similar to UberDoc in the sense that it is also a online synthesizing process. So, what you have to do is essentially send your vocal to the company, and they will process it for you and send it back to you. You also have to pay and sign up for a subscription model, right? And I think the actual clone in your voice, which is the synthesizing process we are focused on, right, is actually one of the tiers in the subscription model. Okay, so it's a monthly fee that you have to pay, right? Now, finances as it relates to us aren't really finalized right now, but our model right now seems to be something of like the donation sort. So what we will do, we will let you download the program for free, right? But we'll give you the option to donate if you like our feature set and our design and stuff. Okay, so kind of like how OBS is set up, and free programs that are very good and allow you the option to donate. Okay, so next point, the market is currently dominated by online synthesizers that require you to sign up to gain access to basic functionality. Okay, so for these online synthesizers, these are the general steps that the user will have to take in order to, let's say, access the functionality of these web-based synthesizer, right? So step one would involve obviously the user accessing the respective web-based synthesizer. Secondly, they will have to create an account. Now, in this case, the two synthesizers we are using for comparison purposes with our prototype is UberDoc and Resemble AI, okay? So, whichever one the user may use, they will have to create an account, right? So, step three, they will have to view the subscription tiers, right? And this is consistent with both UberDoc and Resemble AI, which was aforementioned, that they both have subscription tiers that list the general feature set and also the offerings of the vocal synthesizer. Now, step four, they will have to pick a tier that suits them and offers the feature set they desire. Just to give a little visualization, right now this is on their website. There's an entry tier, a build tier, and this offers the voice creation API, which allows the user to essentially create a AI clone of their voice, right, and get it to say anything they want, right? And there's the enterprise tier, which is for massive scale and custom development needs. Okay, so more like businesses and stuff along those lines. Now it is the same for UberDoc, which is generally in the same format where there are tiers, and also if we go here and click on sign in, you have to create an account, right? You have to sign up to access these basic functionalities, right? And see the tiers offered. Step five, let's say the user finds a tier that suits them. They will have to enter the relevant payment info, right? Which could be a credit card, debit card, along those lines, to obviously pay for such tier, right? And step six, they will have to send a sample of their voice to use as reference to the synthesizer host so they can create the AI vocal clone, right? And obviously after that, with step seven, they have to wait for the voice to be synthesized and sent back. Now, those were online based voice synthesizers, right? I was able to find a real-time voice cloning tool. It is called Windows Voice Cloning Tool. But the thing is, the steps that the user have to follow with this real-time voice cloning tool is tedious and very overwhelming, to the point that I cannot list all these steps in one presentation slide because it is too overwhelming. Now I will proceed to show you all a visualization of this, okay? Now look at what I'm talking about. Look at let's just take a skim through and just take a look at the startup process and how overwhelming it is. These are all just steps. These are all the user has to do in order just to get into the functionality of this, right? Which is a voice clone tool. But this is a real-time voice cloning toolbox, right, for Windows. But look at the starting process. We are just taking a skim through, and all of this is steps you have to do. And this may overwhelm the user, right? Now, with our DDoS synthesizer, we will be basically cracking down on all of these. The user would not have to do any of this. All they would have to do is download our program, right? And our program is free. As aforementioned, as it relates to funding, we would work more like OBS, right? Which is a good free program, even better than some of the paid alternatives for video recording. Our business model will be along those lines where we'll have a good free, let's say, free offering, but the user has the choice to donate and support and sustain the development of the synthesizer, right? Our DDoS synthesizer. Okay, so before we move on, let us just establish our target audience if it wasn't made obvious already, right? Our target audience is generally anyone who deals with audio, right? Any musician, any singer, anyone who cares about high fidelity audio, like audio files, will find their place in our synthesizer and is able to get some sort of functionality and find a use case in our synthesizer. Okay, so that is our target audience, right? Now, what can we safely assume about the users of our program, right? The users that would want to use our program, right? Which, as I've mentioned, could be audio files, anyone that deals with audio. Now, these assumptions can be made about any user, right? A user may fall into either one of these assumption categories, or maybe even fall into many, right? Or all three. But these are just the assumptions that we can safely assume about the user of our program. Okay, so one, we can assume that the user doesn't currently have the funds to pay for one of the subscription tiers of the online synthesizer, right? That could be one. Also, the user may not want to even create an account with one of those online synthesizers because maybe they are concerned for their privacy in terms of giving out information like their email address and stuff along those lines. And number three, the user may want to view the actual cloning process, right? So the way how these online synthesizers work is that the user have to send a sample of their vocal to the host, and they will do the processing and stuff on their end on whichever machine they may have available, right? But with our synthesizer, we will have we will allow the user to download the program and see the actual cloning process and not be left in the dark, essentially, right? We'll be using one of Jacob Nielsen's visibility of system status, along with other HCI principles. And this will allow the user to see what stage in the vocal synthesizing process it is at, right? So the user will not be left in the dark. Now, just to visualize that point a little bit, this is a general UI mockup of our synthesizer, right? In which you can see bottom right, we have stage 1 of 4, which indicates the stage number and how many stages there are in the program, right? And also the what goes on in the stage, which is processing, which may involve like converting your sample to an AI form, right? And other stages may include audio cleanup, audio cuts and slices and edits and stuff along those lines that the user can make, right? So we're trying to walk the user through the process instead of them being left in the dark, which can be seen with the alternatives, right? The online-based synthesizers. Okay, so we have arrived at the end of this product comparison. I would like to thank you all for watching and goodbye.